goal. David Ryan, no appearances this World Cup. That's great. How's he still in the tournament? That's cool. Courtois is Courtois. Lemens is Lemens, blood. All right, what's going on? How comes Kobe Mainoo's not playing? None, he got more minutes. Dark. I ain't from there, so don't care don't care why guys do in the World Cup. I'm sure he's happy to get some minutes. Hey, spell check, man. This come from someone dyslexic. Come on. Kyrus, appreciate you. That Spain keeper is sus, man, doing yoga for Belgium's goal. It just shows football's a funny old game of opinions because Garcia's better than him, Raya's better than him. But if the manager's saying you're playing and they're in the semi-finals and they've won the Euros, it is what it is, people. France are the team to beat in my but Argentina, because I think they've got 13 players. I think the president of the FIFA is in your pocket. I think the rest gives them favorable decisions. Take nothing away or not accusing anyone of anything. Spain versus France is going to be very interesting, man. Very interesting. And even that, England, you have to go. Norway is not an easy game on paper. They've displayed themselves as a very good nation. Generally, we've seen this World Cup. There's been upsets, and there's also been like the team you'd expect to win have gone through, but there's been some hairy moments. You know, Egypt almost scared Argentina. Cape Verde almost scared them, and there's plenty of those kind of examples. I actually feel Belgium played quite well. I'm not gonna lie. When the Spanish players yeah, I'm now stinking up the place, but when the Spanish players turned it on in aspects like with the 1-2s and that, it was cold. I think the most enjoyable team to watch out the bigger nations has been the French. I don't really feel anybody's been outstanding. Like I think Spain have showed their quality. I think France have shown their quality. There's been moments, even England have shown their qualities in moments. I don't feel there's been like a Argentina the same. You know, you saw Enzo pop up with a goal, Romero, individual brilliance. Messi's missed a penalty, he slapped it in. I feel there's been moments, but I don't think I've seen a team that looks head and shoulders above everyone. Like 2018, France was a level above everybody. 2022, granted, Argentina as well, but France level above everyone. I don't feel no one really looks like that. And this is what, as we're approaching the close of the World Cup, it's quite interesting. SI one love. As the man has said, make sure you've hit the like button, people. Come on. Defenders, nice to have, in my opinion. Centre mid priority, left forward priority. I hear you, but I've come to the language now, ours, man, that is all priority, bro, because centre mid, it can go left. You know, you got Zubamendi in and out of the side or form or whatever. Lewis Skelly could pick up. I'm just saying random things. Lewis Skelly picks up a suspension. Rice could be injured. Suddenly, your Norgard's cutting. Suddenly, you're struggling for options. So I do. Centre mid is a priority and a level raiser in that. Left wing, for years, we've been talking about a left wing. So we need that. Hopefully, we get about 2 of those in. I think defense is a priority, man. We put several players' bodies on the line. And again, injuries, you see, it's never just one man. Sometimes Saliba might be carrying a knock. So I don't know, for argument's sake, Timber's moved across. Ben White suspended. So Mascara's got to come in. Something else happens. We need that, man. I think they're all priorities. If I'm completely honest, I think they're all priorities now, you know. If you were to push me from what I see, like removing what I personally want and how I think it can go, I think centre mid is actually the biggest priority. But then I also say left wing because we've known we've needed to address that. We know we need to get our attack consistently performing, and it goes beyond just recruitment, etc., etc. Wan-Bissaka would be a good signing, especially when facing the likes of Mbappe, Vinny, Kvaratskhelia. I'd be a little pissed off if Arsenal got him. I'd definitely hear your view on Wan-Bissaka. The problem is, obviously, as a defender, I only care about can you defend in it, which Wan-Bissaka could do. Unfortunately, in the present game, he's a bit basic. His crossing's a bit inconsistent. He's not really the best at that inverted thing. He's not really the best. Like, for him, I would accept it because 1v1, you could do a job. It's a bit like why I would want Spence if I'm honest with you. I'd take that in the squad, if I'm honest. Argentina lot will run out. Their group games were against lower countries. The judge is strong over there, man. Wan-Bissaka is basic. That's why he ended up at West Ham, man, just looking at London club to get paid. Came to the biggest club, couldn't do it. He's not the first or the last player that's going to struggle at Man United, isn't it? And again, you can be basic. Not everybody needs to be lit. Like some of the players that have held in high regards at Man United, at Arsenal, at Chelsea, of course, there's been top class, world class, amazing players, but there's been some basic dons across the season. I need a couple guys that I know what I'm going to get with you. You're just consistent at what you do. I'm not expecting fireworks. We can keep it moving. As I said, Wan-Bissaka definitely would be my first choice. But if we rocked up and signed him and took advantage of West Ham getting relegated and the London stuff and what we've been waffling about with fullback, I wouldn't cry. Geertruida would be a quality addition, in my opinion. Great Ben White replacement, right back and centre back cover, top player. Didn't Chelsea and Liverpool sniff at him, man? You all laughed at me when I said Garnacho to Arsenal. Well, I have to say you're not laughing now, are you? I mean, he's available. I'm not involved still. Wan-Bissaka has a bozo gene, a bit rash. Wan-Bissaka is the Sagna replacement. Oh, you're selling him high. No. I see, no. Because Sagna was defo better in the final third than him and a lot more solid defensively. I see where you get the angle, but dead. Geertruida plays centre-back as well, would be a good backup, but I'd like a natural right-back. We have enough cover for centre-back, do we? I guess we do, because I'm being a bit silly, but we've seen Norgard play there on paper. Rice can obviously play there. Obviously, you could move the Hincapiés, the Timbers, the Benjamin Whites, the Calafuries, Mosquera. Well, Mosquera is a centre-half. They could all the fullbacks can play there, but apart from Mosquera, yeah, like, do you trust any of them defensive at centre back? I don't really rate Calafury like that in the back four defensively as a centre half. In Capier the same, Timber the same. Like, I think you man are very good fullbacks. I think you lot are decent centre halves. Yeah, man, take a touch. You need to take a touch. Man said Sagna, you're doing too much. Garnacho ain't coming to Arsenal, surely. I'm not on that. Wan-Bissaka, great 1v1, but has a problem defending back post crosses. I don't understand why we can't keep Ben White. He'll return from his injury now. It's a techie one, because clearly Ben White's got interest. But if you're not fit, I don't think club, obviously if Arsenal going to want a decent fee, whether it's more than the 50 million or the 50 million we got, that's a debate to have. He's going to be on decent wages. Maybe you don't want to take a chance on him with all the costs included in the wages. Obviously, if somebody could assure me Ben White wouldn't get injured again, then you won't hear me cry about right back in it. But we're at where we're at. Has his injury maybe indirectly prolonged his Arsenal career? Because is anybody going to be fighting you to sign him? I don't know. Timber, a good centre-back. They're calm. It's like, put it this way. I'm exaggerating, but they're like 10 out of 10 fullbacks. I think you lot are 6-7 centre-halves, if that makes sense. Afternoon, champion, social, one love. And yeah, man, don't fall for the Garnacho bait. I'm going to stay humble, because I remember I used to diss Danny. We sold him. I mean, we bought him. I used to diss Kepa. We bought him. I used to diss Kai Havertz. We bought him. I've been dissing Millie for years. We've got him. It's crazy, man. Monreal and Sagna, the most consistent fullback pairing, very underrated. Both pull 7.5 every single weekday. Wan-Bissaka is a wild card. He can be the worst and best fullback at the same time. I rate Wan-Bissaka. He defended in big games. That's what I need from my fullbacks. Bro, where have you seen Garnacho links? I mean, it would be like Arsenal to shop in the bargain bucket at Chelsea, but don't let Gigi piss you lot off, man. Smash the like button. Focus, people. Focus. So that's what they're saying. Let's turn on the fan. It's fucking boiling, I'll tell you that in the United Kingdom. So yeah, that's pre-season settings. Keep your thoughts coming, people. Big up Martin Odegaard. He leads the way for Norway in several different metrics at the 2026 World Cup. Haaland has been stealing the headlines, but Odegaard deserves his flowers. Assists, passes ended in the final third. Successful passes in the up box. Defense line breaking passes, high intensity counter pressures. I'm only gassing it because it's Martin. Successful carries, he ranks first. Use this as a mini preseason, because Odegaard, I think you give the team a lot. Like, tactically, man can see why you're in the team. It's about standing out as an individual. And at the end of the day, you've been our captain. 22 years we've ended that drought. You're captain in Norgard for the first time. You're captain in Norway, in the World Cup for the first time in a minute. But there has been times where I've watched the World Cup, and if I'm honest, it's nice to see you're fit. I do think you're putting in performances, but I do think it's kind of what we expected of Martin Odegaard in the last few years. Like, you drop deep, you receive it off the centre-backs, you press, you make sure the team shape's all right. The final third, though, yeah, you've got some assists, but there's times where you're waiting, you're trying to wait for the perfect opening to get the shot away, or probably passing too much. I've already said my hot take with Odegaard, he needs to become our Bernardo Silva. And you lot will mock it. I'm not saying he'd be better than him, but you could play as a 10. You could play as an 8. You could definitely play deeper if the game states right. Maybe not one of those physical games. You could definitely start out wide. It's not an inside forward. That's what you need to be for Arsenal Football Club. I can't find anything that like backs up these claims, yeah. But this account has said Odegaard has begun talks with Arsenal over a new contract. The club opened discussions to extend the captain's stay despite his current deal running until 2028. I mean, in the last 2 years, we're in the last 2 years of your deal. It'd be interesting to see exactly what we do with both Odegaard and Kai Havertz. Chelsea aiming for the future of Garnacho to be finalised before the club go on pre-season tour. Chelsea want permanent deal. Roma are trying for a loan plus option. However, Chelsea decision makers do not want this. Anyone having Garnacho at Arsenal, do we think we'll get him? I've got to ask the question. I'm being a bit silly. What a player Double M is. A clutch player, man. Big up Double M, Mikel Merino. Bagged against Germany in the Euros. Bagged against Portugal in this World Cup in the 91st minute. And in the 88th minute, he sent Belgium and Trossard packing. Hey, Trossard, we need to get that move sorted. This is for a video I've got coming out in relation to Bruno Guimaraes, so let's ignore that. But yeah, big up Mikel Merino. On the topic of Mr. Bruno Guimaraes, there is an agreement already in principle on personal terms between Bruno and Arsenal. Guimaraes wouldn't go to Newcastle and say, let me go to Arsenal without having an agreement with the player. The desire of the player is to live in London. The desire of the player is to work with Mikel Arteta. The desire of the player is to play Champions League football. The player wants to go to Arsenal because of the ambitions and opportunities to win trophies. Bring him, man. Like, I'm not going to keep saying the same things, but Declan Rice, Zubamendi, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Guimaraes, the options of what you could do in the pivot, maybe even getting rid of the 10. So it doesn't necessarily mean the Wanyeris, the Ezes, the Odegaards playing that kind of role. And not a flat midfield, but a different kind of midfield. There's options, man. Variety is the spice of life. Hand of Arsenal said as well, Bruno G has directly told Eddie Howe he wants to join the English champions. Kai's still doing a little communication, Kaya Jarupkin, that is, between all the clubs. Arsenal internally discussing another offer. Bruno G preferably wants it sorted before pre-season either way, but won't do an Isaac, people. I'm not an ITK, but here's a few things to point out. We're using Kai or Kia as a intermediary. Using intermediaries are used to contact a club to find a price range that could be suitable for both clubs. Once that's established, only then does the club send an official offer, because in that case, the first bid will likely be the final bid. Till now, only the numbers we have unofficially floated via intermediaries and got rejected by Newcastle have been published. So this talk of no official talk is a bit skewed. So it's no bid being made. We have floated numbers unofficially till now to ascend the price point. Once we do, there will be an official contact and an official bid. We're using Kaya to arrive at the final price point, then bid whatever we feel. I think 70, 75 million is what we're looking at, people. Arsenal need to pay around 80 to 85 million pounds to have a chance of signing Bruno. You know what? Give them the tariff, man. We can offset that with Trossard and a couple of other departures. If I'm honest, the Morgan Rogers stuff's going to be quiet, but nonetheless, the latest we heard, Arsenal are preparing to launch an official bid for Morgan Rogers after making significant advancements in discussions with the players' reps. Aston Villa are demanding a fee comfortably in excess of 100 million to even begin discussions. Mavropanos return. Konstantinos Mavropanos, 28. You know what, with Mavropanos, he played well against us, but I think one of his best, he had some clangers, but one of his best performances in an Arsenal shirt. We lost at Old Trafford. It might have even been the game. I remember him, Maitland-Niles played well. It might have been the game Rashford scored. I might be chatting. No, it can't have been because we ran the blue kit. He done very well. For the squad, I wouldn't be against it, but nah, it's not for me. It's not for me. Unless you're going to get him cheap and sell him at a profit, you know, I'd still think you could. Is attracting interest from multiple Premier League sides and clubs across Europe. Arsenal admirers and have an interest in their former player, but are currently well stocked with right-footed centre-backs in their squad. If we've really been looking at centre-halves, which the rumours we've heard, people, then naturally he's going to be floated on some sort of list or analytical department. It don't mean we're going back in for him. In terms of Tzolis, Arsenal maintain, I think Romano means maintain regular contact with Christos Tzolis camp over potential summer move this summer. Tzolis wants Arsenal move, waiting for Trossard to decide on exit with Besiktas pushing. Does anyone feel Trossard might shake the Turkey move? I don't know, people. Arsenal are willing to listen to offers for Christian Norgard, 32 this summer. Crystal Palace are one of the options which could be attractive as the player can stay in London. There's also been sporadic interest from other Premier League clubs. What would we say to that, people? Newcastle allegedly are in a state of shock, confusion and bewilderment over Guimaraes' request, expressing his desire to explore a move to Arsenal. Why? We're the Premier League champions. Ellie Junior Krupti's agent has spoken. We are still discussing his future. We'll see what happens in the coming days. At the moment, there's no final discussion. Arsenal want to bring in 4 or 5 top quality signings this summer. Another striker, a left-sided forward, a midfielder, centre-back, and or full-back, and a goalie are all deemed necessary to supplement the side. We've seen that. When this loads, we'll get to see what the hell this is. We already know Trossard has agreed a move for 20 million euros. Sad to see him go, man. I just think he's had a good World Cup, but you're never going to get a better opportunity to make some cash. When this loads, if it will loads. The best offer on the table for Leandro Trossard has come from Besiktas after positive talks yesterday, while clubs from 4 other European clubs have previously been deemed insufficient. The player is not keen on the move to Saudi, so he don't want to go do the payday thing yet. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Elijah Upson, son of Matthew Upson, has chosen to join Arsenal after leaving Spurs. The 18-year-old son of former England defender Matthew had offers from Chelsea, Manchester City, Everton, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Leverkusen, and Monaco. I mean, come to the club. If you can develop all the way, great. If not, and we make some money, I'm all for that. Arsenal apparently looking to get flexible defensive upgrade. Arsenal and Liverpool could be heading towards a direct transfer battle as both clubs search for greater depth on the right side of defense. The two Premier League rivals have different immediate needs, but they appear to agree on the value of signing a defender who can operate comfortably in several positions. For now, and for Arsenal, the move would provide more competition and protection during another demanding season across domestic and European competitions. Liverpool, meanwhile, are beginning a new era under Adoni Areola. and need players capable of adapting to different tactical structures. At a reported price of around 25 million euros, this could become one of the more affordable deals available to England's leading clubs. Scrolling all the way down, sources close to the agents industry have informed Court of Side that Arsenal have placed, there's no way I can say his first name, Geertruida on their shortlist for the right back position, with the club's board attracted by his versatility and experience. Liverpool are also said to be monitoring the Dutchman as Areola looks for a modern fullback who can contribute in possession and provide defensive flexibility. I mean, he's better than Frimpong, and I'm all for any defensive reinforcements. Are we keen on him? Are we having him? People, where are we at there? What's this? Zoom in a bit. Martin Odegaard receives Arsenal sell verdict. John Arne Rees is talking. He's poured cold water. Whatever you said, even though like ex-Liverpool player talking about Arsenal, who cares about that? Is Odegaard's time at Arsenal up? I can understand people thinking that, but at the same time, he's a captain. He performs well. You can see at the World Cup that he's in good shape and he's done well for Norway. I'm not sure how long his contract is. He's got 2 years left. I can't picture him leaving because he's obviously happy there and he's the captain. It's been an up and down season, especially with the injuries. So he needs to start well next season, get a good run going, and get some of the fans back supporting him again. Would you not let him go, people? I don't know. The England, and again, where Morgan Rogers is concerned, the England international has been earmarked as the Gunners' priority target for this summer's transfer window. Apparently, Football Transfers have been informed that a deal was edging closer, with Rogers keen to join the North London Giants after the end of the World Cup. However, Villa want 120 million euros for the 23-year-old, and Arsenal are yet to express their willingness to match this asking price, especially as they're also in advanced talks over a deal for Newcastle United captain Bruno Guimaraes. And obviously, we've got Eze, Marino, Kai Havertz, Nwaneri, and Odegaard. Nwaneri's been linked with a move away. I wonder when, if Nwaneri is to go, when will they sanction it? Because surely he has to, because where our players hang around for pre-season a bit, potentially at the start of the season. I don't want him to go, as you lot know, but you get the point. We've gone over this done already. Should we see if there's any updates? Tell me, Mbappe and Vinicius want to join us, man. What's this? Man, they ain't got nothing to do with us, so you can close. What's this? We're moving closer to a full agreement on Tzolis, who's set to become the most expensive Greek of all time. The 24-year-old has been linked with Arsenal Football Club. People, bring him. As long as it's not the level raiser and he's more of a squad full. If he becomes that in time, great. I've read this already and I'm quite bored of it, but PSG apparently have set 150 million euros asking price on Bacola. Anyone willing to do that? The agents of Trossard are expected to finalize a 17 million move away from Arsenal. That's great. Martinelli still linked with a move away. I'm not too sure there's anything. Arsenal prioritized Morgan Rogers over Bacola. We've heard this stuff already. What's this? We've gone over you already, my friend. Man United. What's all of this? Man United are apparently keen on Manu Kone. To be fair, that's a good sign, and he's better than that Edison. You apparently Arsenal at the top of the race to sign Bacola in a blow to Liverpool. Really? Who has said that? Until last week, Bacola was untouchable. Now I see him linked to several clubs, says Romano. The reality is, guys, is that Bacola is not untouchable. Bacola has serious possibilities to leave Paris in the summer transfer window. I maintain my information since April, and I stand by my information. Pardon me. Don't forget also Liverpool, because both Arsenal and Liverpool are calling for Bacola. Liverpool have the player on the very top of their shortlist since the summer transfer window 2025. Liverpool remain interested in Bacola. Bacola is also appreciated by Arsenal, but he's not the number one position. Position number one is Rodgers. Position number two is Bacola. And there are more options in terms of wingers. So that's the situation at Arsenal. Then important to mention PSG. He's not untouchable because the new contracts are completely on standby, stalling for a long time. So Bacola, PSG at the moment, there's no agreement over a new deal. And also important to say, PSG would ask for important money. So who's going to sign Bacola? It's not just about interest. It's also about the package of the money they're going to present to PSG. So that's the situation. And apparently a Daily Mail journalist has revealed that he's heard off an Arsenal source that the Gunners are leading the race. Arsenal seem very hot on Morgan Rogers. Can they afford both him and Bacola? I'm not sure. I had a text from someone in the know at Arsenal, around Arsenal, I should say, last week, and they were saying that they believe that Arsenal are top of the race for Bacola. I don't know how clear-cut it is. We don't know for certain whether he's leaving. That's another question. If I say 100%, I'll get, okay, that's in relation to Liverpool, so we're not going to keep reading that, but all depends what you need. Bear whispers. Real Madrid have made a decision on whether to sign Zubimendi this summer. Really? Yeah, we know they're not going for him, people. Zubimendi has had a difficult end to the year. Zubimendi is having a difficult summer, and Zubimendi is going to have an even more difficult year. What does that mean? What does this mean? Man, this is some BS, bro. Can't lie to you. That was poor. Let's go on Google. Come on, man. Mbappe, Vinicius, Elise. Where's the rumors? Newcastle can't believe what Arsenal have done. What? What's all of this, man? Yeah, he's ready to join Arsenal. Personal terms are not an issue. What Romano said is true that there's an agreement already in principle on personal terms between Arsenal and Guimaraes. I told you already in 2-3 videos, personal terms are never going to be a problem. Guimaraes doesn't want to go to Newcastle and say, let me go to Arsenal without having an agreement with Arsenal. All that remains is for a fee to be agreed between the clubs, although that may be a problem. Arsenal have seen an initial 55 million bid knocked back, with Newcastle demanding a fee in the region of 90 million. Newcastle are still waiting to hear from us. Keith Downey has said, the situation regarding Guimaraes, as we know, is that yesterday we ran the news broken first by the FX, David Ornstein. I have to say that Guimaraes has alerted Newcastle as to his willingness to want to speak to or explore a move to Arsenal. He's essentially told Newcastle he wants to leave. Now, I don't know. I have to be honest, whether that's directly or indirectly, because every time I've asked the club that direct question, I've been told they don't want to get dragged into this. But what I can say from Newcastle's point of view is that they're astonished, astounded, and confused, perplexed by the fact that Guimaraes has said he wants to explore a move to Arsenal when Arsenal have yet to make an offer or even directly contacted Newcastle regarding the Brazilian international. It's incredible. I've never heard this before. So we're going to have to see what's going on, but it don't appear that there's any other news, people. So what are we saying in regards to that? Does that give you optimism? 30 likes is terrible, people. There's 134 of you. To the 30 of you that have hit the like button, appreciate you. DG, if they're the Champions League final today, name your 11 from the players you have right now to start. Right now, assuming, like, to make it easy, everybody's fit, yeah. Raya, Saliba,